What's up guys, Winner Kills here, welcome back to another test hand video. So this is a pure Zoodiac build, post June 12th Bama, so no Norden in the extra deck, no Fusion sub, and the one Terratop. Yes, I'm still playing the one Terratop because the chance of you opening up that brick card is literally the same as before, so there's literally no greater risk of bricking. You either just open the one Terratop or you open the Terratop and your turn is busted, or you don't open the Terratop. And it's the same as if, you know, back when Terratop was at 3, you could still have the chance of opening one Takedown board. The chance of opening a Takedown board has not changed, obviously. I will be doing a deck profile for this if you guys want to see my new list Zoodiac build. And I'll probably be doing a list with a Part Plan engine, with a Brilliant Fusion engine as well at some point, so you have to look out for that one. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and do some test hands. I have to play upside down right now, so the camera angle doesn't look terrible. So it's probably going to be very weird, for me at least. So we'll see how it goes. I think this is like one of my first times doing test hands for Zoodiac, so that's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments as per usual. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I did one before we started the video, and it was actually pretty nutty. Alright, so we open up Rat, Cumungus, Gamseel, and a Thoroughblade. I like this hand a lot. I do. I really, really do. We could do a couple things with this hand, and you gotta hold it this way since it is upside down for you guys. Let me just make sure everything looks fine and dandy. Yep, it does. So this, like, I know the standard combo that involves the normal summoning of the Rat, and it's pretty standard. But I think, you know, obviously we could do a Thoroughblade play discarding this, and then summon out some other things through that, you know, with Tiger Mortar. But I think we're gonna do it the Rat way, and we'll summon Rat, and we'll send a Ram from deck to grave. My grave over here. And then we will go into our extra deck. And I'm probably going to use Hammer Kong here. So long as you don't use one of your important Zoodiac Xyz monsters, doesn't really matter which one you go into. Preferably it's going to be either Hammer Kong or Borbo, but I usually like to say Borbo because he's kind of like a Nightmare Shark. So you definitely want to have access to him later on. And now we'll go into Broad Bowl. You don't have to go into Broad Bowl here if you don't need to. But I'm just going to grab a Whiptail. Set up our Thoroughblade play next turn, perhaps, if we need it. We already opened up the Solemn Warning, so that's actually pretty good. That'll stop a Masterpiece if we need to. And then here, this is like my favorite part about the new combo. It's not necessarily new, it's still the same combo that was available you know, when Norden was legal, but here you just use Chakanine to revive, instead of an Xyz monster for the Fusion sub, you use Chakanine to revive your Ram. And then here's the important part. I'm actually going to probably go into Borbo right now, and then Dryden to pop our Ram. You make sure you give yourself an extra material so you can use your Dryden during your opponent's turn, and then Ram will activate special summoning this Rat from the grave. Now we get another rank 4. And depending on what type of Zoodiac build you're playing, you can go to like Kagetsuchi, the guy that mills 5, whatever his name is, but I'm just going to go into Emerald for this play's sake. I'm definitely going to put back our Ram, definitely going to put back a Broad Bowl, and I guess I'll put back a Hammer Kong, because it's always nice to have one, you know, extra sort of just throw over the top of something Xyz monster to get an extra detach off something. We'll put that Ram back, and we'll get ourselves a draw. So this is basically your standard combo now. They basically took away the extra draw that the Fusion sub play would give you, but then of course, if you're playing like multiple Fusion subs and multiple Emeralds, you could get obviously more than one extra draw, but it does slow the combo down a little bit, but the mini version of the combo is still there. And we'll draw into a Solemn Strike, and also take this time to mention that I'm playing a trap-heavy build currently. But right now, we are literally set, and it's kind of convenient. We opened 2 Kaijus, which is not the greatest, but we still open the double Kaiju. And make sure these are like in frame here. Again, I'm doing this upside down. I have to look up everything upside down so you guys can get that buttery view, hopefully. So next turn, we definitely have some during out of the player's turn disruption. We've got the Whiptail. We've got the Kaijus. We got some back row to put down, and we've got this Emerald, which is not a threat to our opponent during their turn, but it's a threat during our turn because we can use this to recycle stuff and obviously gain some advantage. And there's a Max. He's going to troll us as our next draw. I'm going to see how many times in this video we can open up the one of Terror Top. It's happened. It's happened like more times than I ever thought it would, and it's kind of disgusting. But yeah, that was our first test hand. Solid first turn board, getting a couple draws there. Like I said, we could either have done the other way where we normal summon Thoroughblade, discard the rat, draw, and get ourselves maybe 2 draws that turn, including the Thoroughblade. But I don't think it would have happened because you got to use the Ram play, which involves normal summoning your rat. So I like that play a little bit better. You could have done that differently if we would have like opened Ram or a Tanky to search the Ram, discarded the Ram off the Thoroughblade. Is another way to do that combo. So just a heads up if you were wondering. Still ends up with a Trident and an Emerald, I think, with that play. So we're all shuffled up, and we'll draw into our next 5 cards. D-Barrier, Soul Charge, Barrage, Tanky, and a Tanky. Soul Charge is a card that I'm trying out, new list. I think it's like helps give your deck more longevity, especially with Instant Fusion being hit in Norden. It's kind of like a really helpful comeback card to have. You know, pay the 1,000, you kind of get yourself back in the game. This can do a little bit more than Instant Fusion because it's going to revive pretty much your whole graveyard if you need to. And if you lose a battle phase, it doesn't really matter too much because you can usually set up a board that's gonna your opponent can't break, and ultimately winning you the game. So we'll go Tanky. Now this is usually a predicament that I have. You know, whether or not you go the Tanky first or you go the Barrage first, because this cannot get Ghost Ogre, but it can get Ghost Ashed, which can be an issue sometimes. But I think I'm going to save the Barrage for the time being. And one thing I'll also probably start doing is, if I ever open up Barrage and Tanky together, I'm going to use Barrage to pop the Tanky, which I'm sure is just common knowledge, because at that point, my opponent has to worry about getting rid of the Barrage. I'm just going to use it again next turn. So we'll start with normal summoning the Rat Pierre. Ghost Ogre is a pretty big threat that I am worried about. I'm also not worried about Ghost Ash so much, because Ghost Ash doesn't destroy the card. And then Droll Unlock, maybe. We're going to send Ram for this one. Pretty much going to end up with a little bit different play, but we opened up Soul Charge and Barrage, so we can make like an even more busted board. I don't know why I'm shuffling. But back to what I was saying is that I am maining 2 my bodies for board wipes, which hurt this deck a lot. Because they don't really have any way to protect themselves on the field. Like, Trident can't protect itself, obviously. A lot of your cards just cannot protect itself, and there's no traps that you can really play that'll stop cards like Slumber, Dark Hole, or Regeki. Unless you're playing White Hole, then I guess you can, but we won't talk about that. I'm going to Broad Bull here. We'll get a Detach and get a Search. I'm probably going to grab a Whiptail, because I might Barrage out a Thoroughblade and get an extra draw there. And then we can probably make some other cool shenanigans happen. We'll go into Chakanine, reviving the Ram. And then Ram's going to bring back that Rat here momentarily. We'll throw over the Chakanine, not Chakanine, the Borbo, and then into the Trident. We want to save that Tiger Mortar, especially for this play. We'll pop the Ram will special summon the Rat. We'll go into a Daigusto Emerald. Oh, and one other thing that I'm playing right now is this guy. Obviously, it's not like a card you want to go into turn 1, but I definitely think it's a card that can like super help out in grind games, because Dryden has a very hard time dealing with this card, especially in the mirror match. A lot of cards have a hard time dealing with it. Masterpiece, the fact that it cannot be destroyed and it saves itself up to 2 times, I think is pretty good. So here I'm going to put back Broad Bowl, Ram, and the Borbo, so we can have that Nightmare Shark access later on in the game if we need it. We still have Barrage and Soul Charge and Whiptail in hand, so like this hand is pretty good. This hand is still pretty good. See, like Zoodiac is still very consistent even after the ban list, and there's the Solemn Warning. Pretty cool. So right now, I think the better play here would be to Barrage. I'm going to Barrage away the Tanky, since we don't need that Tanky anymore. And then we'll go for Thoroughblade. Make sure everybody's on camera, so everybody could see. And then we'll use Thoroughblade's effect to discard the Whiptail, and then we'll draw into a Twin Twister, so that's really, really clutch, actually. And then here, we pretty much overlaid everything. So we've already used, no, we haven't used Tiger Mortar. But the thing about this is, at this point, it's kind of difficult to judge whether or not I want to put something on top of this, because the only real gain I'm going to get from it is putting a Whiptail under something, and I guess would help quite a bit, actually. And make sure you guys can see what's in my hand still. I could Soul Charge for 2, make a real Broad Bowl, and search another Whiptail, and have a really beefy Whiptail, but I want to save the Soul Charge. I don't want to be greedy. I want to save the Soul Charge for next turn. So I mean, I could Tiger Mortar and equip the Whiptail to the Dryant to give them sort of an extra threat to worry about. And then I set the Twin, set the Warning, set the D-Barrier. I've got discard targets if need be. Got Interruption here, and just an extra body they've got to get through. So yeah, I think that's a pretty decent turn 1 board. If I'm making mistakes, it's probably because I'm trying to keep it consistent on camera, so I don't have to, you know, make it boring to watch. I want to keep things going, so I might make a misplay here and there. If so, please do nicely let me know in the comments where I fucked up, because I am open to plenty of criticism. That's how you get better as a player, by people telling you suck. And I mean, I'm already aware that I suck at this game. I don't need anybody else to tell me that, but just, you know, let me know where I make some screw ups. Hand traps that I'm making, I guess I'll talk about real quick. I'm playing double Ghost Ogre, double Flying Sea, and I think the Max Sea. So I'm playing 5 hand traps. Preferably, I'd play probably Ghost Ashes. They're falling in price, which is nice. So maybe I can pick up a playset soon, but that's probably not going to happen. So I'm just basically going to have to play into those cards and side other cards for different matchups, like True Draco Zoo, which in my opinion I think is the best deck. That's why I'm maining cards like Flying Sea and stuff. So I do have a side deck built. It's not complete, so if I do a deck profile, I probably won't have a side deck made. If I do have a side deck, it'll be like incomplete. I'll be like, I still need these cards. There's our next test hand. So here we open up the Rat, which is like really, really good to open up Rat nowadays. I love opening up Rat, or even just getting it off Tanky or something. That one Terratop is still being pretty elusive though, but that's fine. We got a board wipe. We've got the Flying Sea. I'm only playing 2 of each though, because like I want to go first, but the odd chance I do have to go second, like if I lose the dice roll. Board wipe. I've got Disruption during their turn. Hand traps are so important right now, because like your opponent can do so much on their first turn, and if you just have to sit there like helpless, you're kind of in a bad spot. And one other thing I noticed, like since like the Fusion sub play was like introduced, Flying Sea was the best to drop on them when they go Norden. You put this on their field, and then they can't go into anything else. They sort of get locked out of Dryant, locked out of any other plays, and their Norden just kind of sits there with the Rat. But I don't know how I feel about Flying Sea currently. I know it's going to help out in the Zoo Draco matchup, because they use the Zoo Engine a lot to get their Masterpiece on board. Usually Masterpiece comes out after they do a Zoo combo, and it'll definitely kind of hinder their play if they can't make a Dryant or something. I don't know. I might play a 3rd Ghost Ogre. I might try to pick up some Droll and Lock Birds, but I don't know if I'd main those. I'd probably just side 3, because I don't think it's that great against Pure Zoo, which I still think there's going to be a lot of. But I definitely think it's definitely good against Demise Draco, obviously. And it's definitely really good against probably Zoo Draco as well. because they get a lot more draws with that Draco engine. I wasn't going to play that one out because I'm probably just going to do the standard normal rat play and do shenanigans there. And I might bump up my body to 3 because Ghost Ogre is one card that really hurts this combo a lot. Especially since it gets rid of the monster. It clears it off the field, especially when you have to use something like as fragile as a normal summon to get there, which is why I'm really like eager to try out the Brilliant Fusion play with the Predaplants. I've got all the Predaplant stuff I need. I just need the Brilliant Fusion engine. There's the My Body, the dual terminal My Body. And this play isn't bad. We'll play this one out. This one's a bit different. Probably still gonna end the same though with the rat play, but I guess we'll do it for the video's sake. So we'll go get rats, and if they've got Ghost Ogre, I say fuck them. And then we send Ram, and you only need to worry about the one Ghost Ogre because Ghost Ogre is a once per turn, thank God. And I'm just gonna save some more time by getting the other rats out of the deck and search a Thoroughblade as well, which is what we were gonna search off of our Broad Bowl. So I've got some overlaying to do real quick. If you're not watching with sound, because I know some people do that, which is weird. If you're not watching with sound, I highly recommend you do, because this will make more sense. And then we searched. Now we're going to summon off Chalkanine. We're going to revive our, not Hammer Kong. We're going to revive our Ram, and then we'll go into Borbo, into Trident. I wish there was one more Zoodiac Xyz I could play. That'd make this so much easier to summon things on top of the Trident. Or underneath the Trident, I should say, without having to waste stuff. And then here we'll go into Emerald, most likely, and then we'll detach the rat. And we'll grab these standard 3 right here. We'll put that Ram back in the deck, because Ram is so clutch in the deck. What do we draw into here? D-Barrier, pretty cool, pretty cool. So that pretty much ends this play with a standard play. I think this here would about end the combo. We still got the Whiptail in hand to equip to the Trident if we need be. And we've got plenty of disruption, more disruption. Next turn we're drawing the Soul Charge. It's busted. Let's go ahead and do like 1 or 2 more and see what we end up with. But basically this kind of goes to show you guys that Zoodiac is still not, it's not even close to being dead. It's still very well alive, which I'm glad, because I have the deck now finally. I finally picked up my barrages yesterday. I got 3 barrage from a good friend, so shout out to you for hooking me up with the barrages. But yeah, I think main deck choices I might change is maybe taking out Flying Sea, maybe putting in a 3rd Ghost Ogre, maybe maining a 3rd My Body, and maybe putting Chalice in. I don't know. I'm not playing Slumber strictly because that's so susceptible to Ghost Ash and Max C and stuff. I think just I'm playing the 1 Dark Hole, 1 Raigeki because I think it's a little better. And I'm maining 3 Kaijus, 2 Gamma Seal, and a Kumongus. I'm not really too worried about the 200 attack difference. Open up Gamma Seal, Rat, Tanky, Ghost Ogre, and Whiptail. So this pretty much nets us the same field. Trident, Emerald, and we got the Whiptail in hand. We've got the Gamma Seal to clear stuff. I might cut the Kumongus as well. Like, this is just kind of like a preliminary test build. Still a lot of changes I do want to make. I'm going to a cash tournament on Saturday, which is playing the current list with Norden. But I'm just so done with this old list, and I just want to play the new list. Because like, once there's a new list announced, I'm just like, well, like, what the hell is the point of playing the old list when the new list has already been announced? Like, I just want to practice with my just dropping cards everywhere. Can't even shuffle a goddamn deck. But anyways, like, I'm just like so ready for the new list. I've got all this spice I want to try out, all the innovation. D-Barrier, maybe we'll brick right here. Strike, Rat. Ooh. This hand is interesting. Let's start things off a little bit differently. Let's discard the Rat. And I guess we're drawing into 3 D-Barrier. Oh my god. Okay. Thanks, game. I'm gonna go over here overlay twice because I want to still have the Thoroughblade underneath, which arguably I might not need. And then we'll equip and detach. And then I'll kind of just go through this one if like you want to see what it's like if you just don't normal summon the rat, because we don't have that much protection from you know, hand traps right now. Not that like these would help anyways. And then here probably just gonna go into Broad Bowl, the broadest of bowls, detach the rat, add a Whiptail, and then I think we just make Trident, honestly. Maybe overlay like a Leica on top, and then give ourselves a Trident. And I think that would probably just do it. And then we keep this in hand, and when we set one barrier and one strike, we don't need to set multiple barriers because you can only use one of them a turn. Not that it even matters, because like it only take really one, I guess. Unless you want to lock your opponent completely summon out of thing, but I guess that doesn't matter. So we got this Tiger Mortar, which is just chilling here. We can protect it with a Whiptail. We've got Trident. We've got Strike, D-Barrier, so we're definitely still living, still surviving. Next turn we are drawing into a Maxi. Why is Maxi trolling us for the second time in this video? It's kind of sadistic. Maxi, come on. The fuck? Alright, let's do one more. Let's do one more. I'm gonna shuffle. Alright, pile shuffled, we're all set. And for anybody who's wondering, I don't know if I mentioned already, this is a 40 card build, 40 cards exactly. So yeah, pretty consistent. We'll do one of these deals. Do a little Splitterino, Whiptail, Torrential Tribute, Thoroughblade, Barrage, and Tanky. Whew. I like where this hand can go. I think we're gonna play this one out. I think we're gonna play this last hand out. We didn't open up the Elusive Terror Top. I was just making sure it wasn't the next card. We didn't open up the Elusive Terror Top, which is A-okay. Here I'm gonna add Ram, because we want the Ram engraved. We're not gonna go normal summon Rat because we're gonna switch things up. We're probably gonna Barrage for the Rat. We'll normal summon this, and this will bait out Ghost Ogres as well. If their opponent's not really that great, then we'll draw into a Kumungus. Not a big deal. And then we will go here, destroy this, and we can summon out our Rat, because we have a Rat problem. We'll go Borbo here, doesn't really matter, at least for the test hand video purpose. And then right here we can immediately go into the Emerald if we want. Well, I guess we can't because we don't have enough stuff engraved. Never mind, don't listen to me. Don't listen to a word I say. We'll attach here, and we'll get another search of probably a second Whiptail, I guess. I don't think there's anything else we really want to search. So we'll grab that Whiptail. We got double Whiptails in hand. I love it. I love all the Whiptails. Alright, now we'll go into Chakanine. We'll detach, summon your boy. He was not put there by Rat this time. He was put there by Thoroughblade, so that's just another way you can get your Ram engraved. Like if you open this and like a Tanky or something, in this case we opened up Barrage too, so if we didn't open up Barrage, we probably would have just Tankied for the Rat Pier. I guess it doesn't matter, but or we could have just searched out Broad Bowl if we just open a Barrage and not Tanky, and then we could just normal summon the Rat that way. So many different ways you can do this combo. And then here we'll go Hammer Kong into Trident. It's important we leave the Tiger Mortar. Like I'm playing pretty much 2 of every Zoo Xyz except for Hammer Kong and Borbo, because like I want to have a good grind game. And the other day I went to a tournament, and just like having the extra deck monsters late game helps a lot. Preferably I'd want to play like another Broad Bowl maybe, or maybe even a second Trident. We'll go ahead and use Emerald here. Put back this. We'll put back this, and we'll put back that. Put those there. Put this guy here. The Torrential, definitely helpful. It's just like one of those cards, like if you're in a bad spot, it definitely helps you out more. It's just kind of weird here that we open it up, especially with this bigger field, which I'm not really too concerned about losing it to a Torrential if that means it's going to stop my opponent. Because I've got two Whiptails in hand. I've got Kumungus, I've got Flying Sea. I could even go into a Tiger Mortar here and equip something, but I'll probably just leave the Thoroughblade there as is. And we'll set the cards that we have, which is the Torrential, so we'll set that. And we got these to work with as well. Next turn, a theoretical draw, maybe Twin Twister we're looking at. So not too bad at all. We did not open up the one of Terratop, Rest in Peace. But trust me, when you open it, it is nutty. Just to show you guys I am playing it. So there's the Takedown Borg, and there's the Terratop. Just playing one of each of these bad boys, and we're still popping off. Didn't open up the Takedown Borg once, didn't open up the Terratop once, doesn't even matter. Argue you'd say, well, like, you obviously don't need the Invoker play, which is something I'm totally aware of. But like, it's just such like a powerhouse combo if you open up the Terratop, and just helps you play around hand traps and stuff, like Ghost Ogre and Ash, and I like it. But like I said, I'm going to be trying out the Brilliant Engine soon when I get it. I got to order it still, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you want to see a deck profile for this, let me know. I'll post one for the June 12th ban list, and I'll probably make a deck profile for after that tournament, depending on how well I do. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. As always, WinterKill is signing out. We'll see you in the next one.